everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Fiddle. I am an artist, a crafter, and a miniaturist that likes to teach others that they can be creative too. Link to scavenger hunt, patterns, and materials is listed in the description box below. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps me out a lot with YouTube's algorithm. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Today's project will be this baby bassinet. It is the first piece in a series set that will be interchangeable. As of right now, I know stroller base will be next. I want to do a stable base and a swinging piece. And I would also like to possibly make a rocking crib bench. I made something similar in the past and wanted to make a tutorial on how I did it. Matter of factly, it was supposed to be one of my first tutorials, but it didn't quite turn out that way. But that's okay, we're doing it now and we're going to expand on it even more. We're going to start off the bassinet by cutting a piece of cardboard or canvas in a strip that's about an inch wide and 7.5 inches long, give or take. If you're using a base that is the same size as mine, 1.5 inches at the top where the head would be, and an inch at the foot. Using your choice of fabric, glue your piece of cardboard or canvas, whatever you're using, about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge with a glue stick. We're going to be pulling the edges up a little bit to stick in the handle, but we don't yet know where they need to be set. We're going to use the glue stick to temporarily hold it. Flip it over to the other side, glue and fold your fabric over, and smooth it down so you don't have any creases. Next, we need to glue our ends together, but we need to make sure that we glue them the right size. Fold back the ends, revealing your cardboard or canvas, and wrap it around your wood base, bringing the ends together. I used super glue, however, I would suggest something else if you used canvas. It did let off a puff of smoke and did smell horrible for a few seconds. Apparently, it did not like the canvas. And this is where I say if you haven't glued your fingers to something, then you're not doing it right. Did I mention that it got hot? Yeah, the super glue got hot too. So don't do that. Okay, now that we've had our chemical reaction, what we need to do is trim the fabric layer back a little bit, but we want to fold the edge over so it's a nice clean edge. On the outside, it doesn't matter so much, but because of the fabric being folded over, your best bet is to fold it on both sides. Set it aside. We are going to grab our egg or party ball clamps and some fabric. What we're going to do is use it as a shape. Stretch our fabric around the rim. This will be the front portion of the canopy for the bassinet. You'll want to put your two furthest clamps at the halfway point, one on each side, and then trim the rest of it off. I thought that pinning the egg shape to my board would make it a lot easier for this part, but it really didn't. However, it does show that I mixed up some glue and water and got it wet with it. Now that we're covered with glue, you can decide on how you want to pleat the back of your fabric. I did a really simple to the center point and then flattened it down. I used the tacky glue to make sure it stayed in place while it dried. Okay, going back to the bed portion, you know how I said to fold that raw edge down? This is where I did that. Once we have the edge folded over, we can add the trim. Start your ribbon at the center of the foot end. I picked this one out of a few different variations. It looked like the easiest one to get the ends to match up and not necessarily look like there's an end there. With the little details towards the back, you can't really tell where one starts and one begins because they're all close together and small. If you have like a loop that is cut in half, you can hide that behind or above the other layer. If you're not exactly for sure on how yours will end up when you get to the other side, you can leave a little bit excess over when you start. Like leave a row or two, or for my case, a circle or two before you put the glue down at the foot and start your way around. So that way you have excess if you need it, so you can make adjustments to make your lines match up. Using the bonnet top as a guide, set it on top of the base and find where the end of your canopy piece is and mark it. This will be where we're going to be coming through with the handle. Use your wood bead as a guide to measure how far your handle holes need to be. Then put the same markings directly on the other side. Take a strand of plain twine and split it up into, usually it's in three or four strands, but split it down into just one single strand. Glue the end with some tacky glue and let it dry so it's pointed. This will give you a sharp end if you don't have a large needle to thread it through. You can use an awl and poke the hole, and with the stiff end that you put the glue on, you can use to just string through the hole. I already did one and it was off screen, but thankfully there are two handles, so I got a second shot at it. Peel away the inside lining from the cardboard or canvas, whatever you used. Next, tie a knot in the end of your twine and poke it from underneath of your fabric through the top where we put our marking. Then add one of your oval beads and string it through the other marking. Pull the string until your handle is to your liking. Trim the excess and then glue the fabric back in place. Yay, now we have two handles. Set it aside for now, and we're going to turn our attention back to the bonnet. And we're going to lay a trim around the front edge. I glued mine to where I had just a little bit of an overhang on the edge. Trim the bottom edge of your bonnet piece so it's a nice straight line. Next, we're going to take our trim and cut it in half lengthwise. This will be the trim for the lower portion of the bonnet. It will also act as like a rim to hold the bonnet onto the bassinet. Because it's detachable, we will not be gluing it to it. I really need to sharpen my scissors. They've been through a lot. It was really hard for me to cut through this. When you go to add the trim to the bottom of your bonnet, lift up the edge of the other piece and put it up underneath of it. It'll give it a cleaner look in the end. Like we did going around the top, we want a little bit of an overhang. Set it aside to dry, and now that that piece is done, we're going to go back to the bassinet bottom. Take your wood base and set it inside of it. I was almost done with editing and then I realized that I didn't show you guys how to make the mattress. I don't know where the footage went, but I can kind of walk you through it. But I had to come back here to do it. Before you insert your wood piece, trace it out onto a piece of cardboard, then onto a piece of soft foam. Cut it out and cover it with fabric, gluing it to the back of the cardboard. Then slide it into the bassinet. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I'll let you go back to the video. Push it all the way down to the edge of your canvas or cardboard. You may have to work it back and forth to get it all the way down there. Once you do, fold the outermost layer of fabric over itself and trim the edge of the inner lining. Now we can tacky glue the fabric to the wood. After gluing the edge of the fabric down, I did use another piece of canvas and completely cover the bottom with it. I think that footage may have went the same way as the mattress did, but I'm not sure. If you watched my conversation share tutorial, you might have some idea on how to kind of evenly wrap and pleat the mattress cover. And with that, our tutorial is done. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me. And if you really, really liked it, please consider subscribing. And I will see you next time.